talking with the group yesterday. And I started off by asking a question of those that were there yesterday. I want you to kind of hold on. But the question of the morning, the question of the hour, the question of the season is, what is it that you own? Ask them. What do you own? What do you own?
Oh, yeah, all right.
What do you own, Kim? It should be easy, quick. Come on.
My will.
Run it.
Furniture, jewelry, car.
Jesus.
What do you own? He's young, he got so much.
25 to my phone.
What did he say?
He's at 25 cents I found.
Well, hey. Christian?
Yeah.
Nothing.
Kill Michael.
On my body. Well, actually, no, I don't. God does. Crap.
Miguel?
Oh no, it's nothing. It's nothing.
Nothing. Nothing.
Hurry, please.
Okay. Glory to heaven through the blood of Jesus Christ.
Okay, you just missed the buzzer, so you got it.
Mm-hmm.
Dum, 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 dum. Catch Michaels.
Amen.
We'll go to Psalms. I would be embarrassed to say the following, but you guys know me well enough to know things in context. The more I learn about God, the more I realize how little I know.
Amen.
Miguel, there used to be a time in my life that I would tell anybody, anywhere, that I know God. I mean, I've studied more scripture. I've interpreted more deep things. Going to Catholic school, I've been through theology class the majority of my life. The school that I went to, when you graduate that school, you have basically the same credentials as people that go to seminary. And it's designed, the school that I went to, it's designed to enter you straight into the priesthood. As a matter of fact, people that graduate there years ago, they came out of what they call the novitiate, which is a stage where you study and you practice as a priest before becoming a priest. I tell anybody anywhere, I know God. I've been to church all my life. I got saved when I was 13. I know God. I prayed and prayed every day. And for a brief time, experimentally, backsliding. We don't talk about that much, but it happened. I know God. Me and God, I mean, He's my Father. I mean, I know God. And after 50 plus years serving God, just about all my life, more, I've come to the conclusion I don't know Him at all. I don't know Him at all. Like what I thought I knew, that I gathered together, and it looks like it's, if I piled up all of the dossiers and all of the files and all of the things that I know about God, and I got this big old pile, who He is so much bigger than what I know.
Yes.
Well, this isn't much at all. Who God is, who He reveals Himself to me to be, I'm ashamed for even telling somebody I didn't realize how inaccurate it was at the time. As a matter of fact, to make such a bold statement, I was outright lying because I had the wrong attitude. I think just because as I know him as Savior, that's it. He's so much more than Savior. I was hurt and he healed me, and I know him as a healer. He's so much more than that. I was in a courtroom once, and God intervened on my behalf. I had some traffic tickets, and the judge let me off because I prayed. He's so much more than a lawyer. He's so much more than what I've read. He's so much more than what I've heard. He's so much more. It's like reading the autobiography of Martin Luther King and never having met the man.
Right.
And claiming that you know him because you read his book. Well, I've read the Bible I don't know how many times, but that does not mean that you know God. I laugh. My kids laugh. For years. When I had my company, my kids would joke among themselves and say, what does Papa do? I mean, I know he goes to work, but
They do. Yeah.
well, I'm their father. They're my kids. They don't even know my occupation. We live in the same house. And it isn't that we don't share, it's just that what I did was so complicated, you know, it's just like, well, you know, I don't know what he does, but he's our dad, so. What's God's occupation? Does he work? Well, I know I see him working, but what's if he were to have a resume, in what category would he place his resume? Consultant? Laborer? General laborer? Who God is literally past finding out. If you searched all of your days for the identity of God, you'd never, in the fullness of who he is, come to know it. His ways aren't our ways. His thoughts aren't our thoughts. Who he is so big. And I'm coming to appreciate the bigness. Can I say bigness?
Sure. Let's see.
I'm coming to appreciate finding out who he is. And who he is, going to you, Miguel, who he is so wonderful. There are times, I'm going to try to work my way through this one. There are times when I don't want to do anything else. All I want to do is know him. No, I know I got to work. I know, kids got to eat. I got to know. We got to have, some food in the cupboard, stuff like that. But I really, truth be told, can I lay it on the line? Can I lay it on the table? Truth be told, I really don't want to go to work. I just want to know him.
Yes.
I really don't want to go to Target to buy milk. I just want to know him. I want to spend all of my waking hours getting to know you. Getting to know all about you. Because that gives me joy. It's so fulfilling. It's such a big thing. It's so satisfying. I really don't want to do anything else. Now, what God does in his infinite wisdom is he places people on the earth. And then he places himself on the earth. So if I really, really, really want to get to know him, I got to get to know you.
Yes.
I can't be in my closet. Okay, God, it's just me and you, and I really want to know it's me and you, Lord, against the world. And I'm praying to God, and Lord, I'm going to come here, and it's just going to be me and you, and it's going to be one-on-one. God isn't one-on-one. He's too big. He's too big for me. He's too big for you. He's too big for us. God is so big that if everybody, and I mean everybody, if every knee bowed, they wouldn't know the half of who God is. He's that big. I've come to the conclusion I don't know him, but I want to. So I pursue God in my job. I pursue God in my life. I pursue God. I see God everywhere. And I can't help to be at awe. You guys are my friends, so I'm going to let you in on a few embarrassing things. My wife already knows, so. If I walk in a forest,
Oh, yeah.
a tree will talk to me. Check out the first time it happened. But trees recognize the pursuit of God in me. And they say, I'll tell you a little bit. And I go, wow. You're a tree. Tree goes, yeah, I got something to say. Because trees are included in God's word. Trees always lift their hands. We don't. And if we took a note out of the page of a tree, we would worship morning, noon, and night. As a matter of fact, we would bless the Lord at
All times.
all times.
Yes.
As a matter of fact, even through bad times, we would
Bless the Lord.
bless the Lord. Even though, oh, it doesn't look good, but guess what I'm going to do?
Yes.
Let me get a little wave going. Let's go. All the time.
Yes. Yes. Yes.
All the time.
That's good.
All the time. The enemy has his gun sticking dead in my face. But I'm not afraid. Oh, you surrendered? No, I'm worshiping.
Thank you, Lord Jesus.
This may look like surrender to you, but I'm not surrendering to you. I'm surrendering to him that has rule over you.
Yes. That's right.
So the weapon that you have in my face, it was formed, but it can't be formed against me. Because you're standing in the seat of intimidation, and I'm standing in the place of worship. I can't be defeated when I worship. I can't be moved. I can't be in pain. I learned this, I taught this, I preached this. Pain and worship cannot occupy the same space.
That's right.
When you worship, whatever element that you have that causes you pain will take a back seat.
Yeah. Yeah.
It will step aside. Because it's just water. Even pain knows and understands. Dude, give me a little towel, sweetie. Even pain knows and understands what worship looks like. And everything that is a thing takes a back seat to God because God is the front seat of all things.
That's right.
Okay. So, God owns everything. How much does he own? Everything. You guys aren't going to help me, are you? How much does he own? Everything. Okay, do your hand like this. Every, on every syllable. Every syllable. Right? Faster. God owns everything. Psalms 24, did we get that? You got it? Psalms 24. Psalms 24. Rhonda, you got it?
You didn't tell us that. You didn't tell us that.
I didn't call it?
No.
Oh, I'm happy you can jump in because I already know what it says. I mean, you already know what it says, but I know where I'm
Oh, I
going.
love this. Yeah.
What does it say, Rhonda?
Oh, I love it.
The earth is.
The earth.
Stop.
Because it's only because we're not talking about Jupiter right now. Jupiter too, right? Uranus, Plato. Well, Plato's not a planet, but Plato doesn't matter.
Pluto, you mean? Pluto, right?
Plato, Pluto.
Not Plato.
Oh, Plato's that stuff that you mold. That's Play-Doh.
Oh,
So I thought Plato was the guy that was really, really smart.
Yes,
with Socrates.
it's Plato.
Oh, that's Plato. Okay, all right. The earth. That's a pretty big subject.
Yes. Yes, yes.
I mean, there's continents involved, there's oceans, there's seas. But if you put it all together, the earth is
The Lord.
the Lord's, right? The earth is the Lord's.
Yes.
So he owns here.
Yes.
He owns here. Where's here? Everywhere. The earth is the Lord's.
And
And really? There's an and? Like the earth isn't enough? The earth is the Lord's and
everything in it.
the King James says the fullness.
Fullness.
Everything in it. Either version, doesn't matter what version, it's the same thing. The earth is Lord and the fullness of the earth, or everything in it.
Yes.
Bees, birds, lions, cows, bears.
Oh my.
Insects, they're small and pesky, but he owns them too. And if he owns them, that means that he controls, has dominion, right? The earth is the Lord's, and everything in it, the fullness thereof. What? What?
And all who live in it.
The world and all the people. Wait, there's people in China that never heard of God. I mean, there's people in, there's people in Japan. I mean, there are people in India right now that they got 17 gods. What do you mean? He owns them too. He owns them too. He owns me. He owns you.
Yes.
What about the atheists? He owns them too.
Yes. Yes.
Well, they must be right in the back of the bus. No, he doesn't discriminate. God isn't prejudiced. Because we believe in Jesus, it doesn't make us special. God owns us all. Well, I'm God's child. They're God's child too.
That's right.
All souls are mine, saith the Lord, but the soul that sins, it shall
Surely die.
die. It's going to die because that's reaping
What you saying?
the consequence of your decisions. Because whether you do right or whether you do wrong, we all belong to God. That means there's nothing that I have that's mine.
That's right.
Boy, you better straighten up. That's my child. As long as you're my child, I'll take you out. I brought you in this world, I'll take you out. You better do what I say. You better straighten up. Guess what? But guess whose child you are?
Yours.
Well, I can't even claim that, can I?
We just don't know.
I can't claim that. You're not my child, you're his child. You're not my child, you're his child. And it's my job to point you to who you belong to. I thought I knew. I didn't. I thought I knew. I thought I understood. God shows me I understand nothing. The first thing we have to do is understand who God is. Because once you do that, everything else is going to be a factor of who he is. In other words, because all things were made by him, and without him was not anything made that was made, anything in your life is a function of who God is.
Yes.
Let me say that one more time. Anything or anybody that's in your life, what if they're a bad person? It's still a function of who he is. Still a function of who he is. Well, that's evil. God made evil. It's still a function of who he is. Well, that's satanic. God made Satan. It's still a function of who he is. There is nothing that is that God did not make.
Okay.
There's nothing that exists that God did not create. That's why he is. Say he is.
He is.
He is
He is.
above
Above
all.
all.
I need you to get it. It's going to be, I'm going to tell you some things, but all of my life, I've been knowing a lot of these things all of my life, but I'm just now getting it. Because once you get it, you're going to do differently. If I knew different, I'd have done different. what God is doing in this hour, in this season, is He's showing me and I'm showing you different. Now, I don't mean different like contrary. I mean different like it's been there all the time. It just wasn't revealed. There's biblically based knowledge that is just now being revealed. The knowledge of God. For thousands of years, men have dedicated their lives to the knowledge of God, and they know about a thimble's full of who God is. And I know even less than that. I'm so glad that there's some things I didn't. But guess what? When I met this girl right here, I didn't know who she was. But I knew enough to not let her get away. Somebody say amen. Amen. Listen, there's some decisions that you make. You don't have to know everything.
That's right.
Are you listening? Mm-hmm. You need just enough to make a decision.
That's right.
What's her? Guess what? Her favorite color's changed. It's trivial. You know, I used to know it, but I don't know it anymore because she's changed. My dad told me something. I didn't believe him at the time because, you know, I was too busy knowing what I knew. My dad said women change every 7 years. I'm like, what do you mean? It's like reptiles, you know, they come out of this. He didn't say that, I was playing. But where men are rocks and they stay the same and they're steadfast and they're unmoving, women evolve. They go through stuff and they shed their past experience and they transform like a chrysalis. They're big, wonderful caterpillars. And next thing you know, you're like, honey, I can't catch up with you because she's flying.
Yes.
She's evolved. She's a butterfly now. You were down here, and I was trying to help you up. Now she's up there like, okay, what's it look like?
Get out there.
Because I can't see what she can see. I'm not sensitive to what she's sensitive to. I don't know her experience. I don't have her eyes, but I know enough. I know enough to not discount her identity. You know enough about God to give him your life, but he's not done showing you who he is. Somebody say amen.
Amen.
If God owns everything, I own nothing. If God owns everything, I own nothing. If God owns everything, I own nothing. Quit treating stuff like it's yours. I wrote a song. I will dedicate this song to my Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. It was his before you opened your mouth. Where do you think the song came from? The song was given to you by inspiration. Well, these are my kids, all 7 of them. Blah, 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 blah. Yo, I got 7 kids, they're not yours. They were given to you. The Bible says children are a blessing from the Lord. Where do you think kids come from? Well, you know, the pelican. No.
Pelicans.
Well, mommy and daddy, well, no. Children come from God. That's where you came from. That's where I came from. And God gives a mommy and a daddy children to take care of. But they're his. They're his children. What am I doing with them? He gives them to us for a reason. Part of it is to realize what he goes through.
Wow.
Listen, I'm just getting started with that. Listen, everything I'm saying to you, there's about 9 series in what I'm saying to you, and the Lord is revealing some things to me. But the first one that I want to begin with is, and I don't know how many messages are here for the next, I don't know how many weeks before, because it's coming to me so fast. He's giving it to me because these are the last days. He's pouring it out. These are the last days. But the reason why God gives us children is the same reason why he created Adam and Eve. After he created Adam and Eve, on the 7th day, the Bible says God Got to put on his glasses. and he hyped up his dungarees. You guys know what dungarees are?
Yeah.
Okay. See, last week we were talking about galoshes, and when I say galoshes, I lost most everybody because that's the thing. Nobody knows what galoshes are these days. I grew up on it. Anyway.
Put your boots in them.
Listen. The Bible says on the seventh day God rested. Why would God rest? God rested because he had delegated authority. And that delegated authority was you. Mankind. He said, I created all this, the heavens and the earth. I created light and darkness and the evening and morning were the first and the second and third and the fourth and fifth and the sixth. And he created man in his image and his likeness, and then he sat down because he delegated authority to man. And since then, we've been going around trying to live. Trying to find a job when we already had a job. See, when you're born, you're employed. We've been going to school trying to develop skills when we already have skills. They were given to us at birth. We go learn trades and skills and things like that. And we make a life for ourselves when we're already given a life. A purpose and definition. God has a plan for everything and everybody that he made, that he created. And it's still, touch somebody say it's still. I don't want you to get lost on this. It's still, what still? Everything belongs to him. I don't have a life. Feels like that a lot. You know, I'm taking kids to school, I'm picking them up. I don't have a life. My life is not my own. Listen, my life belongs to God. It always has. I didn't always realize it. Sometimes I feel like my life is my kids. Sometimes I feel like my life is my wife's. Sometimes I feel like I don't have any life at all. But I do, and it belongs to God. Because listen, my life belongs to God. If it already belongs to God, then he already has an idea. He already has a plan. He's already got things in his mind that my life is supposed to do and accomplish.
All right.
But I'm walking around like, what am I going to do with my life? What am I going to do with... Wait a minute, first of all, it ain't your life. Who you need to ask is the person that it belongs to. Otherwise, you won't be out somewhere trying to find... what are you trying to do? I'm trying to get my life together.
Jesus.
Well, since my life isn't together, who said it wasn't together? Well, that's the way it feels. Well, since my life isn't together, you know what I need. You know what I need? I need a drink. I need something to help me through my day. I need. I'm tired. My life is just drained. I need a pick me up. I need a little shot of something, a little sip of something. I need something to help my life. You think your life is in your hands. When it's not your life, it's his. And it's in his hands. You don't need third, fourth, fifth, sixth party assistance. What you need is assistance. You don't take a Chevy to a Ford dealer. You don't take a Mercedes-Benz to the Suzuki dealer. Hey, can you guys fit the what? We don't have parts. We weren't trained. We don't know what to do with that. You don't take an Audi to the Kia dealership. Kias are made in Korea. Audis are made in Germany. You don't know what to do with that car. Even if we could, it sounds like we're not sure, but even if we could, we don't know what to take off because we don't even have the tools. And then if we took it off, we don't have a part to replace it. about 10 virgins, 5 were wise and 5 were foolish, and the 5 wise had lamps and oil. The 5 foolish had lamps, but no oil. And the later it got, the more the oil burned down in the lamp until 5 of them ran out of oil. And they said, listen, can you loan us some oil? And they said, we can't help you. We don't have enough oil for us. And if you need oil, I'm not an oil dealer. Go rather to them that sell. And they said, okay, we'll be back. Well, they were gone. The bridegroom came and the wedding feast, and they missed it. Because when the groom came, the Bible says that they went in and the door was shut. Now you don't open the door behind the bride and the groom.
Right.
Talk to me after church. There's grown folks stuff going on. You don't want to be opening that door. I'll tell you about it. Thank you, Susan. It's not that we can't talk about it. We just can't talk about it now. You have to have the sense and the sensibility that the life that you have isn't yours. And there is nothing that you can do to make yourself 1 inch taller or 1 degree smarter. Who you are is who you are. And what you will be is up to God. And the sooner you realize that, the better off you will be, and the more you will realize and the more you will understand that the less of life I claim, the more of life I will enjoy. Can I say that one more time? Caleb, the less of life you claim, the more of life you will enjoy. How old are you?
11.
I wish somebody told me that when I was 11. Oh my God. It would have went over my head, but at least it would have went in my ear. And I'd have been pondering, like, when I was 11, somebody told me the less of life I claim, the more, and I want to enjoy life. But I can't claim life like it's mine. I can't treat life like it's mine. I can't act in life like life belongs to me. This is my life. I can do whatever I'm grown enough to do. It's my decision. It's my life. No, it's not, because if you know different, you're going to do different. Let me move on. There's so many things that illustrate. I'm going to give you a quick example, and then I'm going to hit this other area, and then I'm going to be done. Let me just briefly talk about money. Can I talk about money? I'm going to ask you 2 questions, and you know the answer. Then I'm going to talk about it. Because everything that we do, everything that we look at, we have to look at it through the lens of God. Everything that we do, everything we think about, everything in our lives, we have to look at it through a godly lens. I call it a biblical worldview. That's a theological term. But what you have to do is understand that everything that you're looking at, God is looking at. Everything that you're looking at, God is looking at. And God looks at everything for his good. Do you understand?
Yes.
God looks at evil for his good. Evil's not a problem for God. Because evil is not equal to God. We do so many things in our life for G-O-O-D reasons. And we need to do everything in our life for G-O-D reasons. And if we're not doing something, if we're doing anything that isn't for a G-O-D reason, we shouldn't be doing it. Okay, I'm giving you a lot of one-liners. I hope you guys are writing this down, getting it down. It's a lot. I know it's a lot because it gave me a lot. I'm so full right now. How much money does God need?
None.
God needs no money. We're his children. Apple doesn't far fall from the tree. We shouldn't need money either. How much money does God have?
Everything.
Oh.
Well,
Wrong.
None.
God has no money. God doesn't own a bank account. God doesn't have an ATM card. God doesn't have a American Express, a MasterCard or a Visa. He doesn't have a green card, a blue card, or a black card. American Express Black is you put $1 million on American Express Black card. He doesn't own a car. He doesn't own plastic because he doesn't need it. He doesn't have money. He doesn't have gold. He doesn't have silver. Not in his pockets. It's in the earth because he doesn't need it anywhere else. He puts that stuff here for us, but not for us to need it. Not for us to need it. What I need is more money. No, you don't, but you need more God. Because God is so big, he's sufficient. Just a little bit of God is sufficient. Like in the two, let me make this analogy. The apostles and Jesus were walking along and he cursed a fig tree and it died. Just like that. They're like, how'd you do that? I said, well, have faith in God. And they were like, well, increase our faith because we can't do that. He said, increase your faith. He said, if you have faith, the size of a grain of a mustard seed, you can say unto yonder's mountain, be thou removed. Not only could you do this, but you can say unto yonder's mountain, be thou removed, and be thou passing to the depths of the sea, and it shall be done. The grain of a mustard seed? That's all I need? Yeah. With the faith that you already have, if you knew not just how much faith you have, because you don't need a whole lot of faith. If you knew who you had faith in. Did you hear me? Because I think I need more faith. I got problems. I need more faith. Where's my faith? I got faith. I got a little faith. That's all you need. As a matter of fact, the faith that you need is less than what you have. Because if you had the grain of a mustard seed faith, you could move mountains with that. So it's not the faith that becomes your issue. It's your knowledge of the Father. It's who you have faith in. Okay. I'm really going somewhere with this. If you ever meet God, don't pick his pocket. With him. Come here. Hey, how you doing? I'm Michael. You know, just really glad to meet you. Just yeah. Yes, it's really nice to. Don't pick God's pocket. Don't do that. Don't go through his things trying to figure out how much of it is yours and how much of it you're going to keep. God has everything, and he wants to give not only everything that he owns, he wants to give all that he is to you. You with me? Right? But who in their right mind would rob
What's already yours?
God? Would you rob God? Would you? I got the mark for this week. You take the front, I'll get the back. You hit him high, I'll hit him low. We're going to rob God. We're going to be sick, man. I mean, we robbed this cat. We robbed this cat one time. We're going to have enough for your family and my family. I mean, you know how much he carries around in his sack? Let's go rob God, man. Come on. Let's go get him. Come here, Cameron. There he is right there. Just go. Come on. Let's get him.
You're high and low.
Come on. Let's get him. Come on.
You high and low.
Ready? One. Come on. I mean, seriously, we're going to rob him. But we got to do it quick, though. Ready? Like, remember the football plays? Right? Read 32? 32? Hey! Get him, man! Get him! All right, how much did you get?
Oh, bills?
Oh, man! We are set because we just robbed God. Will a man rob God?
Yes.
Tithes and offerings.
Yeah.
We say to ourselves, well, you know, I don't have enough this week. You don't have enough what? You don't have enough of God's money? Because it's all his. Everything that is here is his. 100%. If I'd have known this all my life, I'd have paid tithes longer. And I'm not talking about paying tithes. I'm talking about realizing and right-sizing the relationship of God in your life. Whoever you think God is, He does not have enough space in your life. Because He deserves more. How much more? Well, about 15, 17, 19, 27%. I mean, how much do you tip a waitress? How good was the waitress? Well, how good is God?
Good all the time.
He's good all the time. He's all good. Well, it's all His.
He's never been bad.
So effectively, what you're giving God, anything that you could give God, already belongs to Him. So if you give Him 10%, you're not doing anybody any favors. Let me, one more time. You know, I'm so glad you came in. You know what I'm gonna do for you? You know, here's a Hondo. Appreciate you coming. That's his money! I just gave him his money! And he's supposed to say, thank you. It's all his. It's all God's. And we walk around like, oh, I paid my tithes this week. It was hard. But I barely pulled it together. And then I wrote the check. Or, you know, it's all his. And it says, Malachi, we're not going to go there because that's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about the analogy of what's God's and what's ours. If we go rob God, he says, a man will rob God in tithes and offerings. So if you pay your tithe, you don't pay your offering, you're still robbing God. But I just had enough. Listen, what do you mean you just had enough? It's all his. Everything, every penny, every cent, every quarter that you just found, it's all God's. What do you own? Nothing. What does he own? Everything. So what you're doing is acting in obedience to his word. Giving him what belongs to him. And if you really gave him what belongs to him, you would give him all. That's where I'm going. That's where I'm going. When you get it, 10% is nothing. When you get it, tithes and offerings are nothing when it comes to money. But let's get off money. Because there's too many churches out there that prosperity ministries, and that's all they ever talk about. But they're doing it to their own benefit, not to really have people come into the knowledge of who God is. Because once you do that, everything else diminishes in value. All I want to do is know him. Let's talk about time. Let's get off money. How much time do you have? Well, to do what? No. You misunderstood the question. How much time do you have?
You don't know.
Well, you mean like it's appointed unto man wants to die and after that? No. How much time? Do you? Well, 70? No. How much time do you own? No. Oh, since you put it that way, I mean, I don't own any time. Exactly. So since you don't own any time, how much time does God own? If he owns all time, why do we think we're doing something when we're giving God time? When I start my day in prayer, I give God a whole 15 minutes just before I start my day. Do you see how ridiculous that sounds? Once you get it. I mean, once it's placed in the proper paradigm, once we see how foolish we've been acting, God owns all time. But we go to church twice a week. Well, you got to make a little time for the Lord. You don't make a little time for the Lord because you give God what he deserves. You give him what's his. And if you're giving him less than what's his, then you're robbing. You are a thief and a robber. And then guess what? Kill Michael.
Yeah.
Some of us get so bold, because, we get that way because, we're self-centered and we're all selfish and, we don't know any better. Nobody ever taught us any better. We have the nerve to ask God for more time. Because there's not enough hours in the day. I mean, come on. 24. Whoever came up with an idea like that, 24 hours. I need 27. I don't even have what I need in a day to get accomplished what I need to accomplish. Because I'm the one that needs to accomplish, what I need to accomplish in a day. So there's not enough time in the day. So that the guy that made 24 hours a day didn't know what he was doing. He couldn't have. What kind of engineer, how many years did he go to school? The guy that came up with the idea 24 hours in a day, that was God. So if he knows what he's doing, maybe it's not me that I don't know what I'm doing with the time that I'm allotted. Because if he gave me this much time, I'm supposed to accomplish what I'm supposed to accomplish in that much time, because all time belongs to him. If it belonged to me, then, I tell all my employees, hey guys, we got a project, we need more time. Call your wives, you guys won't be going home because this project is going to take more time. Because the pendulum has to tip in the area of production, not in the area of balance. We're not going to preserve, we don't even value your families. What we value right now is the production so we can get paid. What matters most, what matters at all, the only thing that matters isn't a thing. Because what matters is God. In all of thy ways. Just when it comes to religion. No. In all of thy ways. Just when it comes to spirituality. No. In all of your ways. Well, just the religious part of it. No. In all of your ways, acknowledge him. Your good ways, your bad ways, your marital ways, your family ways, your parental ways, your job ways, in everything that you do. If you put God in his proper place in, not your life, but his life that he gave you, in all of your ways, acknowledge him, he will direct your path. With direction like that, you will never get lost. If your direction came straight from God, how often would you get lost? How often would you be spinning your wheels? How often would you be going around in circles? How many times would you get lost? Never. We're not designed to be lost. We're not designed to be. From the moment that you were born, God has a plan for you. Which brings me to the message. That was all the introduction. I started preaching yet. No? You not read the message? I got time. I got it.
You don't have time, it belongs to God.
So quit complaining. Matthew 16, or rather Luke 16. I'm not done, and I'm not close to being done, but I'm going to stop in just a few minutes. I'm not done, I'm not close to being done, but I am going to stop and just. You okay over there, Chris?
That was good.
All right.
Shake break.
Shake break, I love that. No, everybody stand.
Oh, Jesus.
Listen, look straight across the room at somebody that's not next to you. Shake their hand, give them a big hug, someone will laugh at your face.
Oh, wow.
Go, 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 move, 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 move. Come on, everybody.
Dude, she's such a great
What do you need?
Mom, you can't give me
Okay, have your seat. Luke chapter 16.
Go there, God.
Oh, we go.
Luke chapter 16.
Hug her siblings back.
I didn't say hug everybody. We're going to do that in a second. We're going to
You're not saying, oh, across the room.
across the room. Okay, guys, stay with me, okay? You guys with me?
Yeah. Yes.
Luke 16. Forgot to say I got it.
Got it.
Don't have to say wait. And I know I'm holding you for a longer period of time. Thank you for your attention. I appreciate it. The time that you give me to do what I do is the time that you give the Lord to work through me. And I'm glad that I have a job. 16:1 says, and he said to his disciples, there was a certain rich man which had a steward. He had a what?
Had a steward.
A steward is a person that takes care of stuff that's not his. That's where we get the word stewardship. It's kind of like a butler, but not. It's kind of like a CEO, a chief executive. It's kind of like a manager. The store doesn't belong to you, but you manage everything in the store. You treat the store as if it were yours. So there's a rich man that has a steward, because when you get rich, you can't do everything, right? You gotta delegate. You have to give people authority and be responsible over things. Guess what? When God sat down on the seventh day, he delegated, because Adam was his steward. The earth never belonged to Adam, but Adam named everything and every animal in it. Didn't belong to him, but he managed it. He had dominion over what wasn't his, because at no time did the earth stop being the Lord's. So there's a certain rich man which had a steward, and the same was accused unto him that he wasted the rich man's goods. In other words, he had a job, but he wasn't really looking out for everything. There's waste over here, there's waste, stop it. There's waste over here, there's waste over there. What's the adage that when something's away, the
Cat's away,
cat's away, the mice will play?
Yeah.
It's different when the owner is on site.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
I'm really about to go down. I'm really about to sit down. But have anybody here ever been a kid?
Yeah.
Everybody? Everybody. Some of us still. You know when mom and dad say, well, we're going to go away and we'll be back, but I want you guys to do this, 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 and this?
Oh, yeah.
You found yourself as a kid. You ever found yourself as a kid? You ever found yourself playing right up until you hear somebody pull the driveway?
15-minute blitz.
And then you're like, right? Right?
Oh, yeah.
You might have had 2 hours. They might have been gone for 2 hours, and you just had a really, really good time until you realize
Oh, my gosh.
they're in the driveway. And then it's dun 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 dun. You right?
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
That's how we are with God.
Jesus.
When he went away and he sat down, he gave Adam a job, which gave Cain and Abel a job, because Adam had to teach Cain and Abel the family business. I don't have time. I wish I had more time. Other Sundays, other times. The family, because we were created in God's image and in his likeness. And he gave Adam responsibility. Adam taught Cain and Abel what, Cain got it. Abel wasn't able. No, Abel was able. Cain missed it. They taught their kids. And from the first generation until this one, we are responsible for training up a child in the way that they should go. That responsibility, teaching them the family business, teaching them who our Father, God, is. We are all supposed to take that responsibility and share it and teach it and delegate it, not for them to find out for themselves one day. Because that wouldn't be right, would it? We got to start when they're little. We got to teach them about God and who God is early. Because when they get older, they're going to do some stuff and they're going to figure out their own ways and they're going to make their own decisions. But after a while, they're going to have knowledge in their head that they can fall back on. And when their way fails, God's way will be in their mind. I know what to do. I will go to my Father's house. Because even the servants of my Father have more than this. There's never, even if a child goes prodigal, that child is still a child. Okay. A certain rich man which had a steward, and the same was accused unto him that he had wasted the rich man's goods. He wasn't doing his job. He wasn't being faithful. He wasn't looking out everything. And stuff was going out the windows and was going out the doors and going into the pockets. And whose responsibility was it? The rich man's?
The stewards.
No, it was the steward's. And the rich man called him and he said unto him, how is it that I hear this of thee? And I've given you all this responsibility. Guess what? I've given you the whole world. And I'm looking out all the world and there's pollution. There's wars and rumors of wars. When I gave it to you, it was good. And it was very good. Now look what you've done. Look what you've done with what belongs to me. Do I have to come back in here and repossess? Do I have to fire you and do things myself? He called him and he said to him, how is it I hear this of thee? And give an account of thy stewardship. If God called us into account today, shh. How many of us would make it? I'm scared. I'm telling God, I have salvation, but how responsible am I with everything else? Oh, I'm going to heaven and I'm so glad. But am I a good husband and a good father? Am I a good citizen? Am I rendering to Caesar that which is Caesar's, or do I not care about the world and I'm only looking to heaven because heaven's my home? Am I prejudiced? Do I look down on sinners and I look up and I'm cool with people that say that they're Christians? Am I God's child? Am I letting my light so shine so that people that don't look like me, don't act like me, see me and they say, you know what? There must be a God. Look at her. There must be a God. Look at him. For unto us, a child is born. And I'm not talking about Jesus. I'm talking about us. Jesus isn't the only begotten of the Father. He's the first. Because we are all, just like Jesus, God's children. Jesus doesn't have more responsibility